Hi, I'm Ryan Harding, and I want to talk to you for a minute about realtors. Should you use a realtor? This is a common question I get all the time, actually. And a lot of people think, hey, I can try to save some money by not using a realtor. Here's what I would say. And I'm going to show you a flyer that kind of talks about some things. But on my first home, I decided, hey, I was young and we just started looking at homes and I didn't use a realtor. The listing agent ended up being the realtor for me. And so he represented both the buyer, me, and the seller. And let's be honest, can they do that well? I think that's hard, right? When you're trying to look out for both sides. And so I was not represented, essentially. And I ended up getting a worse deal than I could have had I used a realtor. And so ever since that time, I've always said, hey, use a realtor. In fact, a lot of realtors have helped me get really good deals on loans, okay? Whether that's perhaps slightly overpaying for a house that I wasn't sure I wanted to do. And I was really glad afterwards that I did overpay for that house by, $2-3 grand, but it got me the home, okay, that I was worried about not getting. And had I, lowballed them or different things like that, I'm not sure I would have gotten it. Now, I've also seen realtors help people get a home and get it for a really good price because they know the market's dictating that they don't have to pay as much for it. So that's, I guess, a little introduction here, but let me talk about some of the things that realtors do, okay? So number one, they have experience, okay? They're at least the ones I would refer you to, okay? They have experience and they've been doing this for a while. They know what they're doing, okay? And so ultimately, that experience matters, and that experience comes over years of sometimes making mistakes and sometimes seeing other people make mistakes, and you learn from those. That's how you get better, right? But ultimately, the realtors that I'd refer you to, they have experience, and I'd say that's very important. Negotiations are very important, okay? Negotiation is trying to get that best deal for that home, but ultimately trying to get that home. And that goes back to my point of, recommending, if you should overpay or lowball this offer. That's what they can help you do, is negotiate those things. They can also sometimes help you get like extra things, maybe the washer dryer you like, and you can get the seller to kind of throw that in there, because again, that realtor's good at those kind of things and helping you get some of these extra things that you may not have thought about. Closing costs getting paid for by the sellers. That's important, right? Pricing. They ultimately have access to a wealth of knowledge that will help you decide if that home's worth the price that the listing agent is saying it's worth or not. And they can help make that best offer for you, so you know what to do and what's happening out there, okay? So pricing. Now, contracts are important. You want to make sure you have the correct contract in place so that you are protected, essentially, and you don't have to worry about working on a loan and having the sellers back out and saying, never mind, we got another offer. We want to take them instead. Contracts are important, and making sure that the right verbiage is in there to get the things that you want, that's important, and that's where a realtor comes into play. Understanding of current market conditions. Obviously, again, realtors that I refer you to have a lot of experience, and they see what the market's doing. They can recommend, hey, hold off. I think maybe we can save some money by waiting. Or perhaps, hey, yeah, let's hit the ground running. I think right now, actually, home prices are going to go up, and so that's where you can get some of these under contract for you. They can help you with that. They have their ear to the ground, being able to see what's going on with the market, and that's important, okay? Let me say this last of all. This is a quote from Dave Ramsey. A lot of people like this guy. He says, when getting help with money, whether it's insurance, real estate, or investments, you should always look for someone with the heart of a teacher, not the heart of a salesman. And I think that's important. I agree with that. That's what I try to do myself, is teach, right? If I can teach you some of the knowledge that I have, in this field to help you make a better decision for you, that's what I want to do, okay? Help educate you. Obviously, you're an expert in your field and what you do, and I'm an expert in mine. And so my goal is to help you with this process. And in this case, the realtors that I recommend you to, they also have that same heart, that same attitude, that you're important, and that lifetime value of a client, which is, hey, we want to be your guy now and hopefully in the future, again, when you buy another house. And so it only makes sense to treat you well now because we want you to come back, okay? We want you to refer your friends, okay? So anybody that I recommend you to, any realtor that I recommend you to, has that same attitude, because that's what we're trying to do, is build this business of taking care of people, treating them well, so that they come back, because that's the whole point, right? I want to be able to see you in the supermarket and be like, hey, how you doing? You know, we're friends, and I treated you well. We did a good job for you. So if you have any questions about Realtor, you want a Realtor recommendation, reach out to me. I would love to help you. Would love to recommend one for you for your area. Talk to me today. Thanks.